One of the hardest things about losing a spouse is losing the one person in the world with whom you can share anything with. When I spoke with Shuly that night, I felt that this was someone that I could also share anything with.
I'm Shuly Schwartz, and this is the story of how I met my husband, Eric.
Shuly and I first met 37 years ago at Camp Vermont in Glens Bay.
We were in touch several times over the years, either seeing each other at happy occasions in the life of this mutual friend, and sometimes sadder occasions too.
When Shuly lost her son a few years ago, I called her to offer my condolences.
After his wife died last summer, I sent him a condolence note.
A few months after my wife passed away, there was an article in the Washington Jewish Week about a history conference where Shuly was going to be speaking in Washington, D.C. I called her and I told her that I had seen the article. I asked her, first of all, whether she would need a place to stay overnight.
We ended up talking for about an hour and a half that night, and we really just spoke every night after that. It was so comfortable talking to each other, I guess because we had a shared history and also because we had been through similar tragic kinds of events. His wife had been sick for several years, and my husband had died suddenly, and it had been a hard time for both of us. And I guess feeling that even in that first phone conversation, we were able to speak so deeply and candidly about the grief that we were feeling and the pain that we had experienced. It gave me such a sense of comfort and a sense of possibility, a sense of joy.
I had a lot of mixed feelings because my wife had just passed away and I was still grieving. But on the other hand, when I saw the article in the Washington Jewish Times, to me it was almost like a sign that, here was a person who had been a part of my life a number of years before then, whom I remembered very fondly. And I thought to myself, life is too short. If you think you want to call her, you should call her.
After talking every day for about a week or so, I said, I can't see you for the first time when I have to speak at a conference. So you have to come up to New York.
I actually had a business meeting in New York during the interim, and I came up for the business meeting, which was in the morning, and then we had what I guess you would call our first date.
We did kind of touristy things in New York that I never really take the time to do.
And then 32 across is Oslo.
One of the things we discovered we both love to do is the New York Times crossword puzzle. So that evening that I took the train down to D.C., he picked me up on a Saturday night, and I, being from New York, already had the puzzle. So we went to a coffee shop and worked on the puzzle together. That was the beginning of November, and sometime between, I guess, Thanksgiving and New Year's.
We looked at each other and we said, this is going somewhere. We know where it's going, and that was the proposal. It wasn't really a proposal. We just knew that this was going to be happening.
But my youngest daughter was in Israel for the year. We thought, well, we can't tell everyone that we're getting married if he hasn't even met my daughter. So we decided to go to Israel for the weekend. And then we kind of told people slowly. I guess because there wasn't a formal proposal, I never really felt as if I was engaged. We just told people we're getting married.
Bernice, my wife, my first wife, was the love of my youth, and Gershon was the love of Shuly's youth. And we don't discard those memories. They will always be part of us. But as we are embarking on a new adventure together, a new journey, we try to embrace that past even more strongly, because we know how important it is to us and to our families.